This is June. This is me. Keep watching to see how this dog and this veteran have become a team. I'm a 20-year veteran of the United States Air Force Chaplain Corps. In those 20 years, my family and I have moved multiple times, and I was deployed to 3 combat zones. Now, being a chaplain is a great job. On one hand, you get to be with folks at some of the happiest moments of their lives: weddings, baptisms, births, etc. Plus, you have the opportunity to do amazing things like fly with aircrew, ride along with security forces, hang around with maintainers, visit the folks in the bomb dump, and the list could go on and on. It's a great experience to visit with America's airmen and hear them tell about the great things that they're doing. But on the other hand, being a chaplain can be a stress-filled job, as you also interact with people going through some of the worst moments of their lives. The year was 2010. The place, Baghdad, Iraq. For 8 months, 240-some days, I was the lone chaplain on the installation, on call all day, every day. When one of our troops was injured or killed, I was called to the medical facility to provide comfort and care to both patient and medical personnel. I've lost count of the number of times I stood in the ER and watched as doctors, nurses, and technicians worked feverishly to save a fallen soldier, airman, or Marine. And when those efforts were unsuccessful and death was the result, I had the sad honor of presiding at the ramp ceremony as base personnel assembled to render a final salute to the fallen as their remains were placed in the back of a C-130 to be flown home. Over those 240-some days, I conducted over 140 of these ceremonies. While it was an honor to speak words over the fallen, I knew things were taking a turn for me personally when, towards the end of my time there, while looking down at that flag-draped transfer case, I began to see my own image lying under that flag. And the more ceremonies I did, the more vivid the image became. Those images began to unlock the door behind which I had shoved all the other painful memories that I had carried around over the years. Now fast forward to 2021. Having retired from active duty in 2016 and settling in Missouri, it was state fair time. And as was our custom, my wife and I went to the fair on Military Appreciation Day and enjoyed walking around looking at the livestock and the crafts and the exhibitors. And as we walked into one of the halls, over by the door was a booth with a couple of great-looking labs. Little did I know at the time that that booth would change my life. The sign said Retrieving Freedom, and the literature advertised service dogs for veterans and children on the autism spectrum. Now, like a lot of folks, I had a fairly good idea of what service dogs did, and I knew that they did some amazing things and were a great help to a lot of folks, but they weren't for me. We talked to the folks manning the booth and walked away acknowledging how neat the dogs were and how cool the things that they did were. Well, circumstances had us returning to the fair the next day, and we were drawn once again to the Retrieving Freedom booth. We talked to a couple of different people, and as we walked away, my wife turned to me and said, "With all the things you're dealing with, you should really look into that program." Now, I thought I had things under control, that I was dealing with the memories. But when my kids also said that I needed to look into the program, that's when I realized that maybe I wasn't as together as I thought. Well, to make a long story short, I did look into the program. I made my application and was accepted and began my training. My first trainer was Otto. Otto was a seasoned service dog in training, and his gentle demeanor helped me to learn the commands that I was to need when I was eventually placed with my own service dog partner. Next, I got to work with Tommy, and then Delta. Each of these dogs had their own unique personalities, but each of them took the task that they were trained to do very seriously. Well, as the months passed, I became more comfortable with my role as team lead and grew more comfortable having a four-legged partner by my side. And then my day of realization hit. Now, I'd been attending training sessions once a week, and then came the day when I was informed that we'd have to skip a week because neither of the human trainers would be there. No big deal, I thought. And then when my normal training day came around and I wasn't going, it was at that moment that I realized that my wife and my kids were right. I needed this program. I needed a service dog to help me survive. And then came September the 6th, 2022. Well, today's the day. Today I get to meet my dog. I've been training here since January. I'm at the Retrieving Freedom Information Center, and in a few moments I'll go inside and get introduced to the dog that they have picked for me, and we'll start this incredible journey. So here we go. Hi. Oh, hi. Hi. What? Are we excited? Me too. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shake, shake, shake. Oh,